There it is.
All right, let me
Yum,
get the
yum, yum.
background gameplay up.
Something like a game. Games you played this week. No, 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 no.
Nope,
That's not
not games we
great. Feature
played this week.
game.
Nope,
There
not
we
that
go.
either.
What? There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, the review outline.
There we go. I can
Yeah,
see.
it's down there.
Zach's putting his thing on it so I can see.
Uh,
All right, perfect. There he is. I got you. Okay. Hi, everybody. A memoir by me, your Lord Yeshua. All right. Let me see here, guys. Okay, I played Doom 64 this week, and only a little bit. No, I played a good amount, like about a month ago. I'll be totally full disclosure with you guys, and then played a little bit this week to kind of catch up for the review. Hey, I did my homework. It's a really, really good game. I love this game. What's it available for? It's available for the N64. You're never going to get it. It's so hard to find. Get it on eBay or some shit for like what? Can we get a fact check on that? Like too much money, I promise you. So what you should do is get Doom Eternal for $60, which is fire, but also a lot, so not for everyone. And then you should get this for free because that's what happens. How great is that? It's literally a free game if you like Doom Eternal. So I see no reason not to just to
and
do
that's on
that.
every console, right?
It's on every is it on the
Except for
Switch?
Switch. Well,
Oh,
Doom Eternal, I don't know if the Switch port's out yet,
I
but I
could have
know
sworn
Doom
the first Doom
64
is.
is on the Switch. You can get it for like
Oh,
$5.
well, not
And
even, yeah, that's
Doom
a fucking
64 is
amazing.
also for sure on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So
Man, another reason to get a Switch. Haha. Sorry, the handheld aspect, I agree with Colin though. Just real quick, like it's so like I want a handheld console as well as like a plugged-in console. Like if I'm gonna have a console, I want to be able to do whatever I want with it. It's like to have like a hardware that's right next to my PC. I'm just like, grab the mouse. But anyway, that's just me. I love that Nintendo's still doing that, and I hope it never goes away. Okay. That being said, playing Doom on your Switch sounds fucking badass for $5. So there you go. It got added. Played on Switch, $5. There you go. Thank you. What do I like about the game? This is just one of the smoothest as far as control wise shooters, like for its day. Like people praise GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. Sorry, Perfect Dark is a great game. GoldenEye, whatever, didn't date well. But this game actually is not dated at all. Like something about its movement is just so quick. There's no running mechanics at the time, but you still move quick enough that you're just like really flowing through the levels without any kind of hindrance. And it's again just like, oh, here's another huge thing. So shooters at the time were like really difficult to aim, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to aim very carefully. And auto aim was a little more difficult back then, or not a thing at all for some games. And this is like much easier because you're on even kilter. Basically, you never move up and down, so it's really just more like an arcade shooter, I would say. I don't really know how to explain it, so more like something like that. It just feels a lot more fun. Let's see, love that. What was the gameplay? How was the art? Art is kind of okay. I mean, it's kind of like rendered, I think I would call it, where it's like a picture and like they animate the picture, so not really the best, but also not too serious. Like the first, like Doom Eternal is so much to play that sometimes it's like, okay, I'm just ripping brains out of their bodies, and like it's really intense. And Doom 64 is really not that bad because it's just all rendered. So you're like, okay, it's really not that well animated that you're like scared of the gore. So I'd say it's good, but also, yeah, not that great. Let's see. Sound is I'm not gonna lie, the sound is like kind of I don't know what's going on sometimes. So like you pick up random shit and like mostly you're just picking up ammo and like random weapons and stuff like that. But like I don't often know what's going on if I'm just like running as fast as I can and like mowing people down. So like just picking up random shit and the sound isn't very helpful in that way. But and the killing sounds are pretty much all the same. So they're neat. Yeah, nothing crazy there. And the music is pretty good, but nothing like it is in the newer ones where it's like death metal straight up. So it's decent. I would give those pretty low ratings actually, as far as, those things. Let's see. The game is so difficult. Has anyone played Doom? Have you guys even played this game
I mean, I've played
before?
the original Doom,
I
like
played
till
Marathon,
my
which
fingers
is a
bled.
precursor to Halo.
What's Marathon? Where are you right now? I'm just kidding.
It's like this gameplay.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
watching your gameplay, and it's a lot
Oh,
like
my
this.
gameplay? When did I play this?
Well, not your gameplay, but like, you know.
pros.
The gameplay that we have in the background.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it looks a lot like Marathon, like the same like rendered way, like the way like it's like
Yes.
it's probably like a flat plane, whatever. That's like
Exactly. The flat
animated
plane,
basically
yes.
to make it look like it's walking away from you, or whatever. You
That
know.
is exactly what it is, actually. And it really reminds me of those old screensavers where you're like going through the maze or whatever. And it's just like, that's, you know what I mean? You like turn, but you're not really actually going down a tunnel. It's just like how it's animated, where it's like coming towards you almost. It's like kind of that bad. But again, this is a remaster. It really actually looks more seamless than that. But still, sometimes I'm like walking into a wall and I'm like, why can't I press the button? I realize I'm not like right up against the wall, maybe, or something. And I'm like, oh, it's just like spatially kind of interesting. So it's still not flawless. I take it for what it is, though. Still an older game, so
It looks really good. I mean, I'm
that's
sure
what I'm saying, yeah.
they modernized the graphics, like the textures and
Where's my drink?
the resolution. But I mean, I think it's probably the same game as what I imagine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Same game for the most part. They didn't really enhance anything. It just feels better with this controller than on. I think on the N64.
It doesn't use both controllers to control. You have to still just move one around, basically.
It's just
I'm guessing.
one, exactly. Yeah. One to move and then shoot. Yeah, it's literally just like I don't even remember. Do you strafe around with the other one?
Strafing doesn't seem like a thing that would be available in older games.
I mean, there
So
was
you don't-
strafing on PC, but I don't know that there was necessarily strafing on the 64,
I
unless
honestly
maybe
don't
it
remember.
incorporated the shoulder buttons or something.
Hold it up real quick. No, the shoulders were just switching between weapons. It just
Okay.
So it's pretty much like a move, a shoot, a switch between weapons, and a door open, which is like because there's no jumping. This is very like Legend of Zelda-y, where
that's
you're in
right.
a maze. So this is actually a huge plus of the game for me. The newer Dooms are kind of puzzly in their landscapes, but it's also just so intense. You're more worried about combat. Whereas these, the combat is more distraction from the puzzly landscape. And the landscape, although it is not the strong suit for me because a lot of it looks very similar, and when you're going deep into a level you're like, did I see that? Like where the fuck am I right now? Like this looks kind of similar corridor wise. As you'll notice, like a lot of the animation on the corridors and whatnot are similar, and it's kind of dark and gloomy everywhere. That being said, though, it's like a huge plus for me that it is like more difficult to like navigate your way through these real mazes instead of like a crazy level jungle gem. It's actually like a top down, like a maze that's one or more levels, and you know, you get keys and you investigate it and you like basically unlock the entire, we'll just call it an office building. Like, I don't even know, you know what I mean? It ends up being this crazy tunnel system that's like stories tall, and just to unlock like the one exit. And it's just a really cool way to design like mazes, and it's really like a maze game at heart.
And you
to
guys all
win.
shit on
Yeah.
me when I told you guys to play Chex Quest. It's like the same fucking game.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, I'm really sick actually. I got really like motion sick from that game.
Yeah, me
did
too,
what?
actually.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
was something
really?
about the port that made me motion sick. It
Oh,
was
that
And
is
that's
weird.
the issue. That was the issue I had with like I was like I actually really would think I would have enjoyed this, but I got really sick
Mhm.
real fast, and that's that. I mean, I can't enjoy a game if I get sick from it.
You're
Literally.
vomiting.
Yeah, it was bizarre. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I mean, terrible. What did I say? Where'd my page go? Oh, there it is. Okay. But yeah, the game is very difficult. The maze aspect really takes it up a notch, as far as like the enemies aren't even the hardest part, but you do have to strategically use your resources, which are weapons. The best method in Doom is the harder and more you slaughter, the better your rewards are. If you're timid and you're playing Resident Evil style and conserving your weapons, you're probably going to get killed pretty fast. You literally rip and tear is like the what did they say, like the quote for the game or whatever, like the slogan, rip and tear. So it's like that's what you got to do. Kill people as fast as possible and regenerate your supplies and just mow them down. You know, the longer you take, the more likely you are to be killed. Basically, you just have to be like completely confident and just go. And the game really allows that. It's like very easy to speed run if you like just are confident, just getting close to someone and shotting them in the face. It sounds horrible, but like it's a really easy game to just like run through when you get good at it, and then just focus on like the puzzle as to where you're like going maze wise and collect all the keys and shit. Very difficult though, I would say. I didn't beat it, and I don't know if I've ever beaten Doom 64, but I would like to. I would say it's probably a 5-hour game. If I had to say, it's probably like 10 to 15 if you're really bad at the puzzles, but it's got to be like a 5-6 hour game most likely. I don't know. It can't be that long. I can't imagine. Like, and speedrunners probably destroy it. Let's find out. The speedrun record is probably like 30 minutes, no, or something horrifying. And then What else? Would you play a sequel? I mean, I have. Yeah, I would definitely play more Doom. Overall rating and impression. So I'm pretty generous normally. So let's see. It's a really great game, very fun, highly recommended, and it's free sometimes if you get Doom Eternal, and it only costs $5 otherwise. There's like no like negative to really getting this, so that's a huge plus. I definitely say play it. So I'd probably give it a 7.8 overall, or even like an 8 point. I'm too generous now. 7.8. Yeah. No, I give it like an 8.2. I feel bad giving it the sevens.
It's an old game. I'm sure no one cares.
Yeah, I would
Well,
get no.
so
They care.
let's
I
let's
about it.
take a perspective, right? So
Yeah.
like if you played this game on your 64
Mhm.
at,
I would love
at the
it.
time
Yeah,
of
okay, let's
64 when the
That's the way we're
64
looking
came
at it?
out.
That's the way we're looking
no,
at
I'm
it?
just, we'll give it 2 scores. Let's give
Okay.
it the retro
Yes.
score and like then like
Okay.
now compared to modern gaming, how you feel going back to this.
I like that. Maybe we should add that to this thingy, this list. I would say the retro score is a 9.2, probably. It's really amazing, except you would get lost, like, especially at the time. I feel like I would get pretty lost just because a lot of things look the same. Like now I kind of like understand that it just looks that way. But then I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, why did they make it like this? This is the current graphics, and it like I don't know what I'm looking at. So I would say overall everything's amazing. It would be like the most intense thrill ride at the time. Definitely, like for me, would trump Resident Evil because it's a little less like hold back your resources, literally expend all your resources as fast as possible is what the game is all about, and I love that about it. And it's just really hardcore, like you just mowing people down and demons and like just like saving the world or whatever, the old-fashioned way. It's very simple premise, you know, but yeah, 9.2 because the music isn't really my favorite, although it is kind of metally. It's not like really that great. And I probably would have been like, it's neat at the time, but it's not really. Even now, like I feel like now my childhood senses are what they kind of were, you know. So I still wouldn't love that. And then it looks kind of confusing in some of the mazes. So as far as like the tunnel systems, so I would still give it a 9.2. Currently, with my old man eyes, I would probably give it a 7.8 because those things kind of annoy me more. Although I do understand like this is how it looks, and I'm like, okay, I get it. It's like just old, and it, like they forgot to make every room a different color, so it's like you don't know where the fuck you are sometimes. Like I understand it, but like to me, it's still not something I would rather play other than like I'd rather play one of the newer ones, not the super newer ones, but maybe like the next one after Doom 64, the next one after that. The Eternal and whatnot, they're great, but it's like I can play like 30 minutes at a time before I have like a seizure. It's so intense. It's like way too intense for my poor heart. But awesome as well. But yeah, 7.8, and I still think that's pretty generous. Great game for $5 or less, literally down to free if you buy Doom Eternal, which is worth it if you are a fan of way more hardcore and like the most hardcore game I've literally ever played in my entire life. And it's, yeah, for that matter, like not for everyone, but you'll get it for free if you do that. So $5 on the Switch, totally buy it, play it, see your opinion on it. Absolutely worth it, especially on the Switch handheld. I think that's awesome. And yep, that's it.
Boom.
Watch the full game streamed on YouTube. What does that say? Yeah, watch the full game streamed on YouTube. I'm supposed to plug it, I guess.
Yeah, so this person that I pulled the gameplay from is Shriako. I'll post the link if you want to check this out. Boom. There you go. That's the gameplay we borrowed for this review. So there we go. I'm gonna turn that off.
Shooting up their office building. I didn't even see that at first.
That's so funny. It's
Yeah.
like canon.
Yeah, they're just in the middle of their work week.